What's good, my people, my peeps? We back.
After kind of listening
We back.
to this,
I had to get on stream, y'all.
I think
We
that we
back.
need to start having
I
more
thought I was talking.
conversations amongst each other about self-respect.
I'm gonna let y'all listen real quick. Don't see me
and a few
scratching my
other
head. Sniff
things,
the
living
shadow
your
in the
purpose,
back.
like being sexy and beautiful.
We're gonna listen to this
overall,
real quick,
this need
and then
to,
I'll give you my commentary on it.
this need to overexert ourselves. And I think that that's something only really women can kind of talk about, because there is a disconnect. I mean, I've seen several conversations where, you know, men have said things and women will respond, and it makes absolutely no sense to be said. And so we need to kind of get together and have some conversations amongst ourselves, and maybe that's it, because I don't even know what else to say. Thank you.
We request when I come back to when I let the men get rid of the men. All right, y'all can re-request. Okay, Lakay, what you got, sister?
I just believe that as women, we have been taught, and we also have been told that we are right. We are right in our thinking. We are right in our actions. We are right with what we say, how we conduct ourselves. And now we have to look at ourselves in a microscope and say, hey, guess what? That wasn't right. Hey, guess what? No, I should not act like this. Because I have 4 brothers. I'm the only girl. I had to dismantle a lot of things from my childhood. I had to dismantle a lot of masculine traits from being the only girl. And even with the 21-year-old girl, my heart goes out to her, because she doesn't understand. That's a very dangerous game that she's playing. Very dangerous game that she's playing. From a woman that used to speak to men that way, I can tell her through experience, nothing good comes from it. Nothing good comes from it. And she has to dismantle that in her to where she can say, you know what? Let me walk away. Let me pause. Why is he so angry? Let me remove myself from the situation. And that's what men are talking about when they talk about also masculinity too. If I'm already heightened, why would you come in and be basically match my masculinity? Because now it's a challenge, and he's not looking at you as his woman. Now he's looking at you like a challenge. And instead of saying, you know what, let my baby have it, we'll figure it out, let's come back to it. No, she's going to challenge him. As women, we cannot do that. But like the other woman said too, and as women, we also have to have more dialogues amongst ourselves to say, hey, guess what? We act like this. Let's not do this anymore. You see this behavior? No. And a lot of this does stem. I say this all the time. A lot of people's problems come from childhood. Absolutely childhood. If you dismantle those barriers, you can be a better person.
And thank you for that, Lakay. Once again, you can request back up when the men. We're going to have a little conversation about from the past, because you've seen from the 60s, right? You've seen from the 60s. And the respect level that men had for women and women had for men. Do you think it was equally? And we're not talking about abusive relations right now. Let me be 100% clear. We're talking about just in the streets. When a man saw a woman in the streets and a woman saw a man in the streets, how was that respect level versus today?
Back in the days, it was amazing. You know, if a brother seen me getting over trying to fix my tire, he's gonna come help. Nowadays, I can't say that that's gonna happen. I just can't, because these young folks hit way different. Just like I'm gonna pray for that young lady. She's a sweet young lady. A lot of it stemmed from her parents. She said get along perfectly, so she's not used to folks arguing, and she lack of a better word, she just don't know no better. You know what I mean? It's just she hasn't had enough experience. She hasn't had that type of lifestyle. You know, she probably could be cater. So, you know, she want to be a badass, and a badass into her 6 feet. Unfortunately, possibly, I pray not. But yeah. So back in the days, man was men.
Let me offer. I'm going to interject right quick, just to offer a why that is not going on today. There were instances, and I remember this like in the 80s. I come from New Orleans, like I said. New Orleans in the 80s, it became violent. Late 80s, 90s, became violent. So what happened a couple of times in men, we pay attention to our surroundings, right? More than women. We pay attention to what's going on. Men knowing that would use women to set them up when they come help you to change your tire. And all it takes for a couple stories to come out like that, and they change the environment. So, and I agree. Somebody said men today can't change tires. Yeah, and I agree that happened also, right? That happens too. I'm not saying that doesn't happen, right?
It does, in a big way.
A lot of them don't.
I get it.
Yeah, that's because they have men in their life to teach them, right? That's why. Now, we have blame to go around for that also, right? But we're just gonna say yes, it's because men didn't teach them. They are men like that. I'm not going to divert that. There are men like that.
When he gets ready to bring up the men to the panel, I'm going to give you guys an idea of, well, just an overview so far of why I tapped into this live stream and we're ear hustling today. This is a random live stream. Y'all just kick back and we're just going to, have conversation.
I'm going to give you a chance to say whatever you got to say, and then I'm going to bring guys up.
Okay, real quick. I know you say you don't like to for us to look at the comments, but somebody said, "Where's your man?" First of all, my thing is, I'm not gonna be with no regular.
Don't stoop down to the
Okay, I got you. But I'm not gonna stoop down to be with no dude. Period. You know, I'm a quality woman. I'm a hardworking woman. I'm a God-fearing Christian woman. I'm a beautiful woman. I make plenty of money. If y'all only knew, I got 11 doors. So, and this is not to boost or to brag, but I'm not going to go be with no Pookie or Ray Ray. I'll be by myself. I go swimming damn near every night in my own pool by myself because I'm not going to lower my standard. Somebody else said we have a lot of options. I need y'all to show me the options because the options that's out here now is shitty, period. So I'm not just going to be with a dude.
You might hurt some feelings out there.
And another thing, last thing, there's a gentleman out here named Tony. He's doing I need my wife type of thing. I learned a lot off of TikTok, you guys. One of the things that I'm going to carry to my grave with me, I'm not arguing no more. With the next dude I'll be with, my husband, I'm not arguing. And if we can all come to that conclusion, because we can agree to disagree.
I feel you on
All
that.
that arguing, y'all know I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And I'll let my plane. Brother, first of all, I want to tell y'all, appreciate you. Thank you for this. This is what we
Stop before you end that, right? Now I gotta talk about you, sister. Right? We just had an instance where we was talking to a young sister, and I told her she needs to walk away or whatever, and you got in the comments, I was trying to stop you from doing that, because the thing is this, right? If you know you have all those great attributes, why do you have to prove it to anybody that don't even know you, sister? We have to be okay with saying, you know what? Okay, they say that doesn't affect me. Well, I just made that point. You did just what I was trying to do, not to do, sister.
I apologize. But you know, it's kind of hard. You know, just see people saying stuff and you.
What did I just say? I just said,
She's talking about the comments. She's talking about a man.
Right?
She's talking about a man.
Sister, so guess what? I'm going to be hard on you, sister, because you live
Lord.
Right? That young sister, I was willing to let her go after she said we said, you know I got to keep you up. We got sister, stop. Because they're looking at you, sister.
Okay, so
I need you to be one of those. I need you to be one of those beacons for change for our community, sister.
I got you. I'm with you.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you, sister.
She keep flip flopping.
All right, I'll be back.
Don't move his stand on.
All right, y'all be blessed.
All right, so Brother Carl, mute when y'all come up, brothers. Mute when y'all come up, because I want to set it up for what we're going to talk about. Before we get to what y'all heard from the sisters, we got to talk about what's on the prompt first.
Please, let's get to that. Okay,
Who's next?
Hold on. While he's bringing up the brothers, let me turn this down and give you guys an overview. As you can see behind him, where's my pointer at? Okay. As you can see, this is the brother. If you didn't know, there's a guy down here in this little circle right here. He's talking. He's the host. And this lady came, she dropped a video. It went viral. And his question is, Black women are easy to trigger. Now, I was saying earlier in my live stream, but I had to restart it, that you know what? If you want to go viral, if you want to get those numbers on your TikToks, your YouTubes, whatever platforms you have, say something negative about a black woman. Bring up the black woman and how she ain't this and how she ain't that. Okay, so basically in this overview, this is what this woman did, talking about how she's from Germany, she's so feminine, you know, and she never mentioned outright saying a black woman. But how we know it's targeted towards a black woman, she used subliminals, is because she had to describe her black husband and how her black husband had never had a feminine, submissive woman. Okay, and how her black husband's family was so in awe and shocked about how feminine and submissive she was as a German woman. So she shots fired. Shots fired by a German woman into the black community, and these Negroes then jumped all on it. You know, we got some folks, black men, aka black men, Israel. All, you know, they for it. So let's listen and hear what these men have to say, and I'll break it down some more if you didn't get a complete understanding of why we are here today.
Family and all this, and I'm glad that you pointed out that the abuse, you know, 9 times out of 10 in a mutual situation is prompted or started by the women. Now the thing about it is,
Lord,
you have these situations, and
here we go. Buckle up and hold on tight.
You know, everybody has some of all of that. But we have the highest. You know, the black community. We have the highest. And the reason for that, in my opinion, is because
the black women are causing everything, y'all. I'm so sick of it.
Hard that they've destroyed the black community. You know, the black woman. Well, let me say this, because I don't want to get you live, you know.
I'm so sick of these black men. Y'all need to get an island and all move to this island and be amongst yourselves. I'm so sick of them.
Welfare, you know, and that was a segment of women, right? You know, they did that. That was back in the 60s, Kerner Commission, all of that. You can do your research on that. In the 80s and 90s, then we had the drug wars or the pharmacist wars and stuff like that. But essentially what happened was...
What happened?
The feminist movement allowed women,
buckle up,
still going on today,
hold on tight,
allowed women to feel
Kevin
more
Samuels.
empowered. You know, because you will hear that word, you know, and I promise you, Kamala Harris is going to bring up that word. We have to empower women. Women have to be empowered. And what BWs have done is they say, well,
BWs meaning black women,
which is through school, through work, through education, then that means that black man ain't no good. And we know the term, black man ain't. Oh, German woman. This is why these women are so perturbed, because German woman was saying, you know what? This average brother came to me, and I made him into something and have a relationship.
They always need you to make them into something. I mean, we're gonna stop the madness today.
There's no competition. I just scooped him up. And the thing about it is, when I'm not going to go on my story, because most people know my story, falsely accused of DV and acquitted,
domestic violence.
You know, no charges, all that kind of good stuff.
She was falsely accused of domestic violence.
When I started dating outside of the black woman pool, that's when I began to understand that other groups of women, other groups, and in their entirety still had the family structure intact. They still spoke their native language. They still had their culture. Black Americans don't have a culture. You know, Juneteenth, is that a culture?
No, that's the day when the South realized they were set free, Negra.
The black community has been targeted in order to destroy.
But I'm not saying that's the purpose for the holiday. But you need to stop it. I mean, if you're going to whitewash it all the way on your end. Get up island and move there.
You know, dating a Latina,
Ooh,
Becky,
sick of these
you know,
whitewash men.
I didn't see these problems. You know, and these women that I became friends with and had relationships with, they did not argue, just like German woman was saying. You know,
they be lying.
you know, we're going to do it your way. And I'm not saying I was the boss or, you know,
You
she
know
had
they
to
be
bow
lying.
down.
They be
But there
arguing.
was a degree of submission, and you heard all of these women just on your panel just a minute ago. If somebody
They
was
act
against
like the
me, I'd
popo
hit
was
back.
just made domestic violence calls only go to black households. Stop lying, mister.
Captains, and the other thing, just like what you said, a lot of times, I'm going to land right here. A lot of
Just
times,
lying.
when you have
Oh, they're so perfect. They don't
masculine
argue.
energy
Negro.
and it's directed
Let's
from
go
a
get
woman
the
to a
police
man,
reports from
the
all
man is boxed in.
countries. I mean, not
He's gotta
countries.
do one
All
of two things.
states.
He's either got to fight,
All counties.
you know, or he's
Is
got
that
to fight.
only the popo going to the black
A
household?
lot of times what will happen is
Because I'm sure some white folks is arguing right now.
and the woman will say, oh,
Calling 911 right now.
The thing is that no man wants to be put in that
Who they be
position,
lying?
you know. And so, but from a cultural standpoint, from that color purple standpoint, you know, and all those, you know, blaxploitation movies, that's the point that we've been put in. The emasculation and demasculation of black men.
It's not demasculation. Okay, hold on, Evander. We don't get you, brother. Thank you. McLovin, go ahead, brother.
I'm gonna say two things. One, the young lady that left last, she said she not gonna lower her standard, and really, I would challenge that by saying the problem is you can't play in your playing field. Like what the standard that you want, you can't play in that playground. You can't get those men to be attracted to you. That's what a lot of women struggle with.
Hey,
So
don't just drop it. Don't just drop it off there, brother. Elaborate why you think she can, right? And this is opinion. This is
it's a conversation.
This is a
Like
conversation.
I had a young lady, good friend of mine. She make like $180K an executive, and she didn't know why she couldn't date in that pool. I said, because of your behavior. It's because you don't act like an executive.
Oh my
You
God.
do when you at work.
Oh my
But that's
God.
not what men see.
Oh my God.
See, if you're looking for something,
She's an
better than a
executive, but she
you
don't
gotta
act like an
that
executive.
in the lives.
Y'all will
You
diminish
gotta act like that everywhere you
a
go.
black woman for
'Cause that's how you
anything.
attract that pool. But if you gonna be something else until you meet the man, then that's not gonna draw that man to you, cause he watching from afar. And
And let me add this too, right?
Okay.
What you said is absolutely correct.
No,
The thing
it is
that
not.
we
Stop
observe
pumping
and
these
observe
lies
so far,
in
like
these
you just
men's
about to
heads.
say, right? We're visual creatures. So
She's
once
an
we
executive,
visualize
but she's
what's
not
going
acting
on,
like an executive at home.
we
If she
either-
act like an executive at home, y'all gonna say she manly. You're delusional.
Go ahead, brother. You finish up and
Yeah. The other thing is, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I can get on what women do for hours in a day. But
Vice
I'm
versa.
gonna be honest with you. A lot of men do sound weak. They do sound like when you guys make statements, like
Y'all be letting
like I hear some of
outsiders
these men
pump
make
y'all
it,
head up. Y'all, this German woman then got the TikTok street lit up. Y'all don't let her out. This is family business. Don't come in here. We don't want to hear your comments. If you're feminine, great. If you're submissive, great. Talk to your German family about it. We don't want to hear about it over here. You just said that because black women is the golden ticket to get your ratings up, to get your clicks and your views and your likes, German lady. Why don't y'all black men shut them down with that comment? How about that? Y'all just giving her life, breathing life into her platform.
I agree. Some of them are outrageous, but some of them are just not being led. Some of them are just not being influenced because this man doesn't have it in him. Because I'm hearing it. It's like, she's been talking for 60 years. So what, was you mute? You were silent for 60 years? Like, that point sounds wild to me.
So let me offer just a slight pushback on what you said, brother.
Okay.
So the thing is, right, because everything isn't even, right? You're a man and you're older than me, right? So I'm gonna give you respect you deserve because you're older than me. I understand I'm on maybe a lesser level in certain ways because I've experienced.
You think I'm older than you? All right, go ahead.
How old are you, brother? I thought you was like 52.
Now go ahead, keep going.
You 52, aren't you?
I said keep going, bro. I might be.
Answer the question.
Look,
52, yes.
Okay, then why the hell you
demeasuring competition over age. Keep your platform on track, sir. A demeasuring competition over age.
I accept that you're older than
Lord have
me.
mercy.
And I will give you
It's always a
that respect,
competition.
right?
Y'all
So
hollering about us.
It's a tier level with men. Do you agree with it's a tier level with men?
Of course.
Okay, so we understand that, right? Do you think women understand there's a tier level?
Well, no. Most of
Yes,
them
we
know.
do, because your buddy, rest in peace, Kevin Samuels, was hollering about high value men. At first, it was 2.5 years ago, it's high value men. Now this woman right here and got on Beyonce's internet talking about she done took an average man and built him up. Now y'all want to be average men and how black women can't handle average men. Y'all need to make it make sense. Y'all see this, and anything that came out of this mouth, now it's okay to be an average man. But y'all was talking about y'all was high value men 2 years ago. And then you was mad talking about you don't want a black woman with education because it went to their head. All this BS.
Say something to that.
Go ahead.
Now you want to be an average man because nobody said so.
Completely. Like people can clone and hide
Make my head itch.
and fake for years.
Make my head itch.
For years, bro.
Wash my hair.
Like people can do that, man.
Y'all letting folks in family business. Y'all need to shut everybody down. That's how it need to go down. Nobody can say nothing about the black family. Nobody, baby.
That's articulate, that's educated, that's well-mannered, that love their mother, and still be a maniac and kill everybody, unalive everybody 20 years later.
Okay.
So to say you gotta choose right.
Let's hold on. Let me stop you right there. We're not talking about the worst of worst, right? We're talking about average. Right now, we're talking about baseline. So in order to this is my ideology, right? In order to fix things right, we have to go to the middle. We can't go to the far end extreme, right? I can't go to the top level 5% man because most women won't get that guy, right?
Right.
Now I don't want to go to bottom 5% man because I don't want them with them men, right?
Right.
I don't want to see women take them, right? So we're talking about average. We're not talking about extreme cases. That's why I stopped. That's the only reason I stopped.
No extremes. I'm saying if you got a man.
Y'all just not talking about average men right now, today, over the weekend, because German woman said she done took an average man and built him up. Black women done built men up, been ride or die, and still y'all keep them in y'all mouth. Negatively.
So okay, now
this the poster child right here. She the poster child. We got all these black men saying hooray for average men. No, y'all just 2 years ago it was about the high value man.
Like we just established, right? Women look at men as being men.
Delusional, like I don't know what.
All they look at
Delusional.
is the exterior of men to judge these men, and they move on the exterior.
I don't think so. Listen, man, I don't think so.
Let me prove that.
Go ahead.
On these apps, you've been trolling these streets too, right? We established a thing in Lennox Mall, right? Because we both been in Lennox Mall. We both been there. Okay, don't start laughing, right? We're gonna have a dialogue. Don't start. We established this, right? Women pre-select men that are 6 feet, right? Do we agree there?
No.
You don't think they are? Women in the comments, would you rather a man be 6 feet?
That's such a lie.
Let's get out the comment.
That's their mindset. That's such a
If you
lie.
want a man that's 6 feet, press 1.
That's
If you want
such a lie.
that isn't 6 feet, is under, press 2.
That's their ego. So they want a 6 foot man, dark and handsome. That's such a lie.
They say they want.
Good Lord, y'all living in fairy tale land, mister.
Because if you analyze and look from afar, then you'll know that I really rarely, as a man, have
If
to
that
pay
was the case, you wouldn't see no
attention to
sister
what
with a
a woman
short
is saying.
guy and she taller than him. You see all black women with men towering over them. Got men married and women married to all different heights.
She say, I
That's
want
a
a
lot.
6 foot. Yeah, she gonna, if she talk about her once, she's gonna name Superman. But when you relate to her, right? When that show,
That's why that man got his balloon popped.
secure,
I don't even know what his name was.
well balanced
Little game
leadership
show.
perspective, who handle his business, that tall
Self-esteem
woman
is
will take
shot.
The problem is men haven't been passing down to me how to get that security in ourselves.
Ooh! Now you said something with that.
For me to be so secure
Ooh!
in myself,
Come on with it.
that I'm beautiful to anyone.
Come on with it.
So this is the thing,
You
brother.
be short as I
What
don't
you
know
just said,
what
I
and powerful.
totally denounce that, right? You have to listen to women. You have to listen to women, right? So this is the thing, right? In listening to and hearing women here, that they are not selected because of their height. Off top. Off top.
Only time
They hearing
I
what they
listen to
wanna
what
hear,
women
that's
say
why.
is in a conversation, but when
You
they
hearing
talk
what they
about,
want to hear.
when they just read them speak and I don't know them and I'm listening from afar, I don't pay none of that no mind. It's a woman, man. She dealing with emotions. She's talking off the side of
So tired of me saying she dealing with emotions. If you're Israel and you know, wisdom comes from wisdom is a woman's attribute too, sir. So tired of we don't just go off of emotion. We have wise women out here, sir. Goofy.
All right. So,
If men don't know that,
Goofy.
then we need to have a talk.
So in the hundreds of women I've talked to, right, in real life, not on this app, in real life,
You better not blaspheme because you blaspheme a feminine spirit, wisdom.
I was talking around.
All wisdom comes from a feminine spirit, sir.
And the first thing they what's up, Ashley? What's going on, sister?
Y'all is wrapped up in a world that's gonna keep
Ashley, I
y'all
want you to
down.
come up. The next group, when I drop these men down, I want you to come up, sister, because you know me personally, right?
Okay.
No, I'm not talking. I'm talking about myself.
No, yeah.
But anyway, so in the hundreds of women, maybe thousands, I could say thousands. I dealt with women, all women around me for 7 years, right? Coming in and out. We had these talks, right? The number one thing they used to say that they would look at when they tried to choose a man was his shoes.
That's true.
Okay.
Which is external.
Man, look at external. Y'all need to stop it. Y'all play holier than thou doggone now. Y'all look at a woman's external, her features, her shape. We looking at doggone shoes. Y'all need to stop it. Something that you can fix. Ooh, they sickening. I'm on one with this. My people are delusional.
Balenciaga, right? They go all these places and spend money on stuff so they can get pre-selected for women. Because they present themselves in a certain manner, because that's how women view them. They go off a site just like we do now. We
do now. Nigga, y'all men always went off a site. See, this is what I'm talking about, people. This is what I'm talking about. Do you hear that? Like we do now. As if a man ain't never went off site for picking a woman.
A woman goes off of.
He lying. I'm so sick of these lying, hypocritical men. Delusional. You know they are. If you say they not, you delusional.
Because he has learned that. He said that chick don't care how I look. She don't care what I got
we just
on.
now starting to look
She
at
care
women.
how I present myself
they
to her,
body
how
features,
I
they features.
speak to her mind and her heart. That's how they get PMIP. It ain't the car.
Father.
It ain't the fur coat. It's how them dudes is talking to her.
Okay, so once again, now we talk about what they talk, right? The lies they tell. That's the second video.
No, but no, it's not. It is.
These old men need to go somewhere on an island. I'm telling you, old ones and young ones that's being brainwashed by these old buzzards.
Because women respond to something they can choose more than they do how something looks.
Hello.
I guarantee it.
Okay, we're gonna come back this month.
I can concur with that.
Just like we did before.
You wonder why somebody be like, oh my God, this man ugly, and I don't know why that woman with him. Because she's choosing something other than looks half the time that you don't know about.
What you got on what you heard and black women feeling unheard. Go ahead.
Okay, so about black women
No. You want to order? Adana. I don't know what it is. But right. Go ahead.
So the thing is, this young man, in my humble opinion, was pandering. Here's the thing: we all.
Hold on. Let me stop. Time out. Stay off. Whatever. We gonna this trigger language. We're not gonna do that, right? We're not gonna do what we think about other people in this box because we're trying to let women in a thing. This is how I'm setting up my live today. We want women to hear us speak on certain things, right? Our ideas about certain things, not going back and forth and whatever. Can you mute up? He is Adana. Mute up, bro. Thank you. And that's so I can see who's talking or whatever, because these boxes don't go off sometime, and then they need to hear you. So go ahead, right? Let's stick away from going against each other, whatever. We're trying to relay a message so women can hear us, right? To hear whatever we got going on and how we feel or how we think about what we see of our sisters in this community. So anything you heard, the German women, black women feel unheard, or black women are easy triggered. Well, you already was here, right? So you already did that one. But black women feeling unheard.
I believe when some woman was up here saying a black man need to be a leader. How can a black man be a leader when she don't give him the authority to lead? Because submissive means to conform to authority.
Stop saying submissive. Submissive is equal to being married, sir.
A leader and being a leader and
they are so confused.
are like two
So
people working
confused.
together.
So confused. My Lord, my Lord.
Do anything, so
They got hooked on that word submissive, and they can't let it go, and don't know the origin of it and why submission is even being used. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry don't get submission, sirs.
Let's change that.
That's in relation to marriage. You're submissive in a marriage, sir.
All right, no problem. Go ahead. Keep going.
Y'all are lost.
And that's all I had.
All right, brother. Appreciate you. Black Heart, go ahead. I'm sorry. My bad, Black. Add Dex. My bad. Add Dex. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry.
The way I see it, like, I don't know if anybody's seen, I know Kevin saying he had spoke on it. It was a professor in college who had a course about understanding black men. And
Dr. Siasan Johnson.
Yeah. So I don't know if everybody's familiar with that, but basically, so he had black women in the classes, and it was about learning black men. Well, basically, what ended up happening is they didn't want to really learn. It was more like a combative, point out everything black men do wrong. And then, like, later on, white tea and Hispanic women came, and they came to learn about black men. So basically what I got from that was the unwillingness to learn about black men is basically saying, like, why do I need to learn about him? Like, if I'm better than him. Like, if they think in their mind that they better than us, they superior, and we beneath them.
The self-hate
kind of like,
for your own women is so real.
I don't need to compete. Compete for what? He's beneath me. I got a degree. I got my own money.
See, there it is.
That money and that degree, that makes them feel that they're superior. So it's like, you gonna be arguing all day because it's like, you do what I say, and you be everything I want you to be, and then maybe I'll consider giving you a little bit of what you want. Like, you were put here to help me, not that I was put here to help you. You're supposed to be my helpmate. It's the reverse. We live in a reverse society. Like, I don't think they believe that they were put here to be a helpmate. I think in their mind, we supposed to be here to help them. Buy me everything I want. Give me what I want. And that's all I have to say.
Take that next. Blackheart, what you got, bro?
Yeah, I'm almost on that same train with Anthony, man. I think I understand when black women say they feel unheard, but then when you do it, and you have these talk shows, just like the brother You Can't Stop was saying, they've had decades to express their the disagreements with black men for decades. It's just until now, I believe, is that black men are actually saying, well, wait a minute, sister, well, we've had bad experiences with you too. And that's the problem that I have with these conversations is there's no understanding when black men saying, well, these are experiences dealing with the same woman that looks like us too. It's not always black men's fault. It is your fault too. You know what I mean? And it stems from, for a lot of us, it can stem from our mothers. You know what I mean? So we tried to tell women this, and actually, you know, and this is the sad thing. That's when black men, I believe, that are at most vulnerable when we get to speaking about our mothers, because that's a very touchy subject. And when we do so, they shame us for that. And I notice, and I don't like that, because they'll be the same one telling black men, well, you need to open up more. You need to have emotional intelligence. Well, wouldn't be the first step of emotional intelligence is expressing how you was treated as a child? Mm-hmm. Wouldn't that be the first step of being an emotionally intelligent man is saying, you know, that's true. My mother didn't teach. She didn't treat me well. And only thing I see is we be shamed for it. So I'm confused as to where these conversations go. Because as a black man, I'm like, well, man, it really seems like our own race of women hate us so badly that they even want to unalive our children, our boys at that. And that's disheartening when I hear that.
Okay, Blackheart, I'm going to do this in the comments also. Men, if you feel that you were neglected by your mother, you had any kind of negative things with your mother, keep putting one in the comments.
This is feeding into the delusion. Because for black women, when they talk about their past hurts, rape, abuse, sexual, perversions that has happened onto them, I have heard so many platforms say, "Get over it. Go get counseling."
This is why I'm having a long
these black men are saying that when they speak, they're not heard or they're put down as if they need to be coddled.
To talk about this stuff, and I can
it's
speak
not
from
making
my own
sense.
Experience, right? When I was out here dating my
so
20s,
if a black woman says, "Get over it, go get therapy, get some help," that's too harsh. Matter of fact, they might say she's masculine by saying
what we had a rocky with our past was the fact that my mother made me change the locks to put my father out. And I became the man of the house, and I wasn't allowed to do things children were doing because I was too busy playing husband to my mother. I was shunned, I was talked about, I was shamed. And
I want y'all to listen to this.
I didn't have no use for that woman because she don't want to hear me.
Listen to this. Because you can hear black women say, "My uncle touched me.
So
I told it. Then I was called fat. My cousin, the folks in my family did this and that to me." And literally, plenty of platforms, you will hear black men say, "Get over it. Go get counseling." But this man talking about he had to change the locks. And he had to become the head of the household, basically, or he was shunned as a kid. And that's traumatizing. And I'm not I'm not diminishing his experience. But we're going to have a balance here.
And it's like, I'm just saying, good morning, how you doing? And that's it. And it just was like very ignorant. And I just like, man, what do you do, man? Seriously, what do you do? What?
Okay, let me address something right quick in the comments. So the thing is, sisters, right? I've seen a bunch of y'all comments saying we're projecting this on women. No, what's
yes,
going on
is
that when we interact with women, right? When we interact with women, y'all attitudes solidify what we already believe. That's what's going on. Because we go out there, a majority of men are good at compartmentalizing things, right? If you for visual purposes, when men think, their minds are like waffles, right? You have different areas, and once you pour the syrup in, it goes in each area. Women's minds are like spaghetti. It's all, it's kind of jumbled up, whatever. So it's not a projection. It's the fact that we're telling you something, and the way you acted to the information we're giving you, now we put you in that little compartment. These comments right there, everybody in these comments, what you say, so what that man just said, we're putting you in a compartment now because you're saying something to this man, telling you his experience. So me saying what my experience is, and the other men that put the ones in the comment section saying what their experiences are, right? We are telling you, you're not feeling attacked, because nobody's attacking women. Stop that shit. Stop weaponizing your feelings, ladies. That's another thing we have a problem with. You don't feel attacked because all our brothers are articulating ourselves in a respectful manner. We have not, one man got up on this thing and called y'all out your names. We have not got one, no man has got up here and said anything that's salacious about black women. So stop using your feelings to attack black men. Stop it.
The German woman was right. I lived in numerous countries 2 years ago, Barcelona, Spain, etc. There's a huge difference. And she's absolutely right. I had 7 soldiers, and 7 of them, more would have done it, but they were still in the army and was going to Korea or Fort Hood or something like that. But 7 soldiers who finished their ETS time, and when they got out, they did leave those black women for women in Belgium, because we see Belgium and Denmark a lot. Especially Madrid. Madrid more than Barcelona, to be honest. But these men now are even more so men of means. Right then, we were soldiering together. We all had each other's back. We deployed together. We bleed together. All of that. Right. So at the end of the day, there's duty and honor. And when my men were coming to my motor pool, stressed out over what, a lot of these black women were doing, trying to clean their money out while they were, one was a fiance. She got escorted off base for trying to, take money out of his account and do all this other stuff. And while he was deployed, man, and found out she was spending it on some dude. So at the end of the day, that happens a lot. That is not a small thing. I can go to every man in every area and they can get that same feedback. As a matter of fact, I have, and I continue to. So the bottom line is this: the only way for just like women claim to be, empathy and sympathy, that's talk, right? I pay attention to actions. I could care less about what comes out of somebody's mouth. So at the end of the day, it's based on actions. So the only way for this situation to, I guess, come to a stopping point is when people start to reflect upon the ways that they treat others. They don't want to be treated like that. However, they have no problem with doing it to somebody else, and they think it's all transactional, whatever the case may be. Now, I don't really get that kind of stuff, especially because the good thing is I'm very confrontational, and I love it. So, my thing is this: I really don't get that from them, but at the end of the day, I still don't like it when my brothers get it from them, especially brothers who I serve with. Yeah, I get your butt kicked off base. I guarantee you. I don't tolerate that type of stuff, man. So that's it. So the German woman is correct. She was right. It's not like we didn't know this before this app was even constructed. We said it. We said it at military balls and so forth. So this is really nothing new. Have a good one, guys.
Hey, stay up here because I'm gonna get your final thoughts after this. But anyway, also where men used to address this stuff and speak amongst each other was in the barbershop. That we heard all this information, right? We weren't out in the open, so this is really new information to a lot of sisters. So that's why we're talking about this. Also, to the women in the comments, speaking about men are having issues and what about the father and the grandfather, whatever, they're supposed to do that. Okay, if they weren't around, right? If they weren't around, then it falls on the person that is in their life, right? We cannot blame people. We can fault them for being gone, but we can't fault them for improve.
But you want to blame the women.
Because if you wasn't going to treat them right, you're not going to. That's what we should do. Right? We have to get it out this unhealthy way of thinking that, well, I would be viewed a certain way if I keep this child and be kicking the child's ass all the time, every time you turn around, right? You ain't helping them. You ain't helping that child. So if you cannot deal with the child, with this man leaving this child, or whatever the situation between you and this man, right? There's nothing to do with that child.
Comments.
You
I
need
sure
to
got the comment on that.
find somebody to give the child up for adoption. You need to take the child to the grandmother, the father's mother. You need to find something else to do. But stop looking at it as, okay, it's not my fault because that man left. No, it's your fault too. You share the blame. If you abuse that child, that man abused the child for leaving, and you abuse that child for fault. We have to stop that. Go ahead. Who's that? Alexander. Go ahead, Alexander.
on mute, bro. Hey, y'all get my likes up too, man, because
Ain't nobody getting those likes up.
About 5 hours. Go
My
ahead.
bad, I heard them plug all my stuff, bro. I just want to say, you know, I'm gonna hit off on the point. I want you guys to really think hard about this because in the late '80s, early '90s, I'm gonna say indigenous people. That's what I'm gonna call us because that's what we is. We were at our closest as we had already ever been as being unified, even more than in the '60s. We were.
Can you tell me why you think that, brother? Because I think we're gonna have.
Listen to the music. Listen to the music. Everything was fight the powers that be. We were trying to change everything that was going on.
That's true. I can agree with that.
Treat each other better. We were telling
we were more love songs.
One of the biggest rappers out was a female rapper by the name of Queen Latifah. Queen Latifah's voice heard more than anybody else's in the world, to the point that the CIA and FBI had already planned to take her out. People don't understand they weaponized the indigenous woman for one reason only. And just like it says, this is the only way that they were able to ever put us in slavery is through you guys.
Who? Through us? Oh my God, Father.
You guys don't realize
this man just said that they could only put us in slavery because of the women. When you said we was going into slavery because we all broke your commandments. You hear what these men are saying down here, Father? Albert, we need help down here because these men is pumping out lies upon lies, Father.
All together. That's power.
Or you see all of them attack.
I can't take it no more, y'all. I can't take it no more. Our people are delusional. I don't know how we're going to get up out of this.
Let's